live from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead you? Who'd have thought they'd lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. 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 We always could spot a friend. Welcome back. And I smile when I think how you must have been. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot. Welcome back. Welcome back. 'Cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. 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 Welcome back.
Aha! Hello there. Hey, Peter.
Hello.
On this day in 3350 BC, this is probably the oldest historical thing that we've ever done on the show, right?
Okay.
By far. 3350 BC, the first recorded solar eclipse occurred. Scared the holy hell out of everybody.
I'm sure it did.
Speaking of scaring the holy hell out of everybody, you're listening to That'll Learn Ya.
Nice segue.
Yeah, nice, huh? With your average run-of-the-mill radio host, Michael Buster McMahon. I am Michael Buster McMahon, and I tried a new brand of mustard the other day, but it really tasted like my old brand.
Why
I
is
think
that?
I was experiencing Dijon Vu.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, thank you. I actually want to market that. I want to make a mustard called Dijon Vu with the slogan, "It's mustard you swear you've had before."
Okay.
You want to be a good one, too?
Sell it at the restaurant.
Nostradamus. It'd be like,
Nasal spray.
yeah, and the tagline could be, "We predict you'll feel better." Huh?
Okay.
I should go into marketing.
I would say I would talk to your chefs at the restaurant and have them make that and have it as a special.
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
They say the best things in life are free, which explains why we have to pay my pal and producer, Peter Coles. Say hello, Peter.
Hello.
Today on the show, cool stories about great songs. Plus, if we have time, we'll talk about the mysterious sighting that Japan Air Flight 1628 witnessed. But we probably won't have time for that.
I like stuff like that.
Yeah, you would. Google it. Japan Air Flight 1628. I actually wrote a play about it, but it wasn't well received because I didn't give a definitive conclusion on what actually happened to the flight. But I'm like, how could I? Nobody knows what really happened to it.
Right.
Right. I guess I was supposed to speculate, but I think I did a fine job. Japan Air Flight 1628. Google it. Peter, you'd be fascinated by it.
I love stuff like that.
So sit back and relax and remember, Arguing about whether the glass is half full or half empty misses the point. The bartender cheated you.
Ah,
Hey, I got some laughs today from you. I don't expect you to be, Ed McMahon and just laugh at everything. But I mean, sometimes you can be a bit grumpy in there.
well, I did run into a technical challenge this morning.
Everything's good?
Well, sort of.
Sort of. What do I say when there's a problem?
I got your best man on it.
That's right. I got my best man working on it.
Mhm.
That's you. And at home, when something goes wrong with the computer, I get my best woman working on it. I don't know if I told you this.
Would that be Serenity?
No, my wife. I originally married her just so I could have somebody who I knew computers in my house. Fortunately, over the years, I grew to love her, so that worked out pretty well.
Oh,
But-
you're going to pay for that.
I think I've told that to her before. I think she knows I'm kidding.
You're going to pay for that.
Unfortunately, I saw the cutest thing today.
What's that?
I'm driving in, and these like 4 or 5 kids at a bus stop decided they thought it'd be funny if they were pulling an imaginary rope like across the street. So, I mean, it was coordinated very, very well, and basically they're just hoping that somebody saw them, and I saw them, and I laughed at them. I pointed at them. I said, very good job. But, it made me laugh. It was very well coordinated. Good job, kids. I don't know if maybe a parent is listening and saying, oh, cool,
Of course, if you're like me, your horn would be more like... I want one of those for my car.
Oh, I was going to say, is that what your horn actually sounds like?
I want one for my car. You can buy them.
This microphone is like blocking my face here from the video camera. Wait, are we on that camera today?
Yeah.
That's different.
Well, it was last minute, and I was trying to get stuff fixed, so I had.
I don't mind it. It's just different.
The
That's
other-
probably what's blocking my face.
The other camera is set for the last chair on the end of the row, on the end of the table over there. So yeah.
Cool. All right. But so I enjoyed that. Good job, kid. You made me smile on the way in. So, unfortunately, with this show, the nature of the show, a lot of times we play songs from artists from a while back, and a lot of times we have to open the show with saying goodbye to somebody. And I think I've said several times about Irene Cara that I really wish she had more songs because she had a great voice, and the songs that she did have, I loved. I wish she had more. She should have had more hits than she did. So this won the 1980 Oscar for Best Original Song by Michael Gore. Does that name sound familiar to you, Michael Gore?
Vaguely.
It's Leslie's brother, Michael. He wrote the beautiful theme from Terms of Endearment. You remember that beautiful instrumental song?
Yep.
Yeah, and it's absolutely beautiful song. So he wrote the music to this song. He was asked by a friend of his who made the movie. He won Best Score for his work on the whole movie. And 3 years later, Irene Cara won the Best Original Song Award for writing Flashdance, What a Feeling, which she also performed. So she was involved in 2 of these. So I picked Fame because of the line, if you remember her name, she'll live forever.
Sure, yeah.
So here's Irene Cara. She was 63, which is a bit young to go. I was surprised. So she was really young when this song came out then.
She was in her 20s.
Yeah, because this song came out, 1980?
Mm-hmm.
So she was pretty young. She was like 21. So I thought she would have been older than 63, but losing her at 63 is a little young. Here's Irene Cara and Fame, 89.5 WSKB.
Baby, look at me and tell me what you see. You
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Sometimes I wonder where I've been, who I am, do I fit in? Make believing is hard alone, out here on my own. We're always proving who we are, always reaching for that rising star to guide me far and shine me home. Out here on my own. When I'm down and feeling blue, I close my eyes so I can be with you. Oh baby, be strong for me. Baby, belong to me. Help me through, help me need you until the morning sun appears, making light of all my fears. I dry the tears I've never shown out here on my own. But when I'm down and feeling blue, I close my eyes so I can be with you. Oh baby, be strong for me. Baby, belong to me. Help me through, help me need you. Sometimes I wonder where I've been, who I am, do I fit in? I may not win, but I can't be thrown out here on my own. Out here on my own.
Irene Cara. That song was also written by Michael Gore, but this time he had lyrical help from his sister Leslie Gore. It's My Party. She wrote the lyrics for that, and Michael Gore wrote the music. And so we say goodbye to Irene Cara. It actually reminds me of a couple of other people we lost too. My friend Trudy used to sing that karaoke, and that time when we had my college girlfriend Tracy on the show, she said that song made her think of our friend Belinda, who we also lost. So people live on with the songs. I'm sort of like off-centered here now, right? Does that matter? Does that matter if I'm not centered on the screen? You think?
I can center you. Watch this.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty slick like that.
Okay.
I can just I can do that, and then I can.
All right. Whoa. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can make you centered.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Only
The
on,
magic of TV.
only on camera.
Magic of TV.
Do I have? I think I have too much headroom. Don't I have too much headroom? It's like a full head.
Are you getting picky now?
No, I'm just saying. I don't know if I'm properly framed in the shot. That's all. There we go. There we go. See, that's a little better. Thank
Now
you.
you're just being picky.
And, I don't know, can you make it look like I have a little more hair?
No.
No, you can't do that.
You know, you can only pay so much for stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So the title of this song is a twist on a popular Duke Ellington, what he would say all the time at his concerts. He would say, "We love you madly," yelling to the audience. And the Doors didn't actually have a bass player. So when they did this song, they realized they needed a bass player. So they borrowed the bass player, Jerry Sheff, famous for his work with Elvis. That's not a bad place to borrow from.
No.
No, if you're going to borrow a musician, what's your resume? Well, I played with Elvis.
You're in.
Yeah, okay.
Have you seen that ad lately? One of the banks has an ad. It's the decision to come with our bank is easier than, and then
Oh, yeah.
all of a sudden you hear the riff for, you hear Slash playing the riff for
Yep.
Sweet Child of Mine.
Uh-huh.
Easier than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, it's not a bad thing to have on your resume. Here is The Doors and Love Her Madly, 89.5 WSKB.
Don't you love her badly? Or don't you need her badly? Don't you love her ways? Or tell me what you say. Or don't you love her badly? Wanna be her daddy? Or don't you love her face? Don't you love her as she's walking out the door? Like she did 1,000 times before. Don't you love her ways? Tell me what you say. Don't you love her as she's walking out the door? All your love, all your love, all your love. All your love is gone. So sing a lonely song of a deep blue dream. 7 horses seem to be on the mark. Yeah, don't you love her? Don't you love her as she's walking out the door? All your love, all your love, all your love. Yeah, all your love is gone. So sing a lonely song of a deep blue dream. The 7 horses seem to be on the mark. Don't you love her madly? Don't you love her madly? Don't you love her madly?
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
Join us every Thursday morning.
From 6 until at least 7:30,
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show.
right here on WSKB 89.5.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Just look at you, sitting there. You never looked better than tonight, and it'd be so easy to tell you I'd stay, like I've done so many times.
I was so sure this would be the night. You closed the door and wanted to stay with me, and it'd be so easy to tell you I'd stay, like I've done so many times.
Don't fall in love with a dreamer, 'cause he'll always take you in, just when you think you've really changed him, he'll leave you again. Don't fall in love with a dreamer, 'cause he'll break you every time.
Oh, put out the light.
Just hold on before we say goodbye.
Now it's morning and the phone rings, and you say you've gotta get your things together. You just gotta leave before you change your mind.
And if you knew what I was thinking, girl, I'd turn around. If you'd just ask me one more time. Don't fall in love with a dreamer,
'Cause he'll always take you in,
just when you think you've really changed him, he'll leave you again. Don't fall in love with a dreamer, 'cause he'll break you every time.
oh, put out the light.
And just hold on before we say goodbye. Before we say goodbye.
Kenny Rogers and Kim Carnes. Now, Kim Carnes and her husband wrote the song, and she had the idea to make it a duet, and she asked Kenny Rogers' people if he would be interested, and he said yes. Now, usually a lot of times when you do a duet, both people will record their parts separately, but Kenny wanted to actually sing it with her face-to-face. So, Kim Carnes was a pretty successful singer, but, Kenny Rogers was a...
Arguably two of the most distinct voices of the 80s.
Yeah. I always thought she should do a duet with Rod Stewart, though, right?
Well, that'd be interesting.
Because she was almost like the female Rod Stewart. But so it was a little intimidating for her to be like singing face to face with Kenny Rogers.
Well, I think that the only way to pull the song off is have the emotion.
Yeah.
Of being face to
Yep.
face.
Sometimes sometimes you need to do that, but most duets are recorded separately. But no, usually a lot of times when you have a success with something and somebody says it's luck, usually you take that as an insult, wouldn't you?
Depends.
A lot of times, though, like,
Sometimes it's just luck.
I don't know. I mean, I used to play a lot of online checkers, and a lot of times that was some of the things that, that there was like, this was the old days, there was like 40 things you could say, and when you won, sometimes people would just say to you, it was luck. I'm like, all right, smart guy, want to play again? I'll beat you again. I'm good at checkers. Unfortunately, it's not a skill that, translates to success in the real world, but I am very good at checkers. But so when this band was told that their hit was luck, they agreed, because at the time, when you think about the 60s, the doo-wop style was gone. And, people were looking for, the more the bad boy images, the Beatles with the long hair and everything. A bunch of clean-cut doo-wop guys couldn't possibly have a hit. But the band was like, yeah, you know what? It was. We were extremely lucky to have this. But, it was also a nice arrangement, and we sang it pretty good, too. So sometimes luck will show up if you work hard enough.
There you go.
Which is a wonderful way to look at things.
Yeah.
Here's the Casinos, and then you can tell me goodbye. 89.5 WSKB.
Kiss me each morning for a million years. Hold me each evening at your side. Tell me you love me for a million years. Then if it don't work out, then you can tell me goodbye. Sweeten my coffee with a morning kiss. Soften my dreams with your sighs. Tell me you love me for a million years. Then if it don't work out, then you can tell me goodbye. If you must go, no, I won't breathe. If you wait a lifetime before you leave, but if you must go, I won't tell you no. Just so that we can say we tried. Tell me you love me for a million years. Then if it don't work out, then you can tell me goodbye.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio. 89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Sometimes I feel I've got to run away. I've got to get away from the pain you drive into the heart of me. The love we share seems to go nowhere, and I've lost my light. For I toss and turn, I can't sleep at night. Once I ran to you, now I run from you. This tainted love you've given, I give you all a boy could give you. Take my tears and that's not nearly all. Tainted love, tainted love. Now I know I've got to run away. I've got to get away. You don't really want any more from me to make things right. You need someone to hold you tight, and you think love is to pray. But I'm sorry, I don't pray that way. Once I ran to you, now I run from you. This tainted love you've given, I give you all a boy could give you. Take my tears and that's not nearly all. Tainted love, tainted love. Don't touch me, please. I cannot stand the way you tease. I love you though you hurt me so. Now I'm gonna pack my things and go. Tainted love, tainted love, tainted love, tainted love. Touch me, baby, tainted love. Touch me, baby, tainted love. Where did our love go? Oh, don't you leave me. Don't you leave me no more. I've got this burning, yearning feeling inside me. Ooh, deep inside me. And it hurts so bad. You came into my life so tenderly with the burning love that stings like a bee. And now that I'm surrounded so helplessly, you know I believe you wanna leave me. Oh, baby, baby, where did our love go? Oh, don't you leave me, don't you leave me no more. Oh, baby, baby, where did our love go? Oh, don't you leave me, don't you leave me no more. You came into my life.
Soft Cell. They decided to add the, I don't think I've ever heard a bad version of Where Did Our Love Go? I'm sure that there one exists, but I've never heard it.
That's like Wild West, that song. Who did that one? Where they added the second part of the song?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Was it
Living in the Wild Wild West?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's Soft Cell. Now, I bet you didn't know that the first part of the song, Tainted Love, is an actual remake. It's because you don't remember the original because it was a B-side. In 1964, Gloria Jones put it as a B-side to her hit song. I wrote it down here somewhere.
You're not prepared.
My Bad Boy's Coming Home. And a couple years later, some DJs started playing it with like a little bit of a electro mix, and it became popular again to the point where Soft Cell was like, you know what, we should maybe we should record this. And people seem to like it.
And then they added their little twist on it.
They did. And Gloria Jones now was collecting some money. Her old song was Living, and she was pretty happy. She was actually dating the guy from T-Rex, Mark Bolan, and she decided to release a new album because of this newfound popularity called Vixen, which she actually re-recorded the song herself. And unfortunately, she was driving the car when there was an accident, and Mark Bolan was killed in that car accident. And she never really got over the guilt
I get that.
of being the driver of that, and her music career ended. And the money she had, she started the Mark Bolan School of Music in Sierra Leone, which is an interesting place to start a music school, I think. Not the
Well,
first
that's
place
where
I
she's
would.
from.
I don't know if she's from there. She could be, I suppose, or she just felt the connection to Sierra Leone. I'm sure
Mhm.
it's very beautiful. It's a coastal country, but now this is kind of weird. You know who might be playing the piano on this song?
Who?
This song is from 1964, and if you're doing the math, he would have been 14 or 15 years old. Billy Joel claims that he's not sure if his piano section made it to the record. He's like, a lot of times, studio musicians, they'll play their part. He goes, I definitely played this song. My friend of mine got me in. They didn't tell anybody how old I was. I wasn't part of the music union, but I played the piano for this song. Whether or not they used my take, he goes, I'm not positive, but I'm telling you. Now, Billy Joel has never lied to me before.
I don't think he'd make up something like that, because if it got exposed, it would destroy a lot of his credibility.
It would. I mean, it's not like it's a one-hit wonder claiming that they were on it. This is Billy Joel, who does not need the added fame.
Right.
But this might be Billy Joel playing on the song. And what I think is funny about this song is one of my favorite stories I like to tell is when Ellie Greenwich bumped into her ex-boyfriend, Shadow Morton. Because, Ellie Greenwich and her husband, Jeff Berry, they wrote all the songs in the, the 50s and 60s. And the ones that weren't written by, Hollard, Dozier, and Holland. Dozier, Holland, Dozier. And basically he claimed he was a songwriter too. And they didn't believe him. So he had a week and he wrote a song.
I remember that,
Yeah, and he put together a girl band. They did Remember Walking in the Sand. So the three of them obviously had a big laugh about that because the three of them wrote this song. It's the Shangri-La second hit. Where would the Shangri-Las be without Shadow Morton? Huh? What a great name. I mean, I like the name Michael Buster McMahon, but I had to pick another one. Shadow Morton. That's a good name.
Mm.
Do you like Peter Coles?
Yeah.
You happy with that?
Yeah.
You going to keep it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Here's the Shangri-Las and Leader of the Pack, 89.5 WSKB.
Is she really going out with him?
Well, there she is. Let's ask her.
Betty, is that Jimmy's ring you're wearing?
Mm-hmm. Gee, it must be great riding with him.
Is he picking you up after school today?
Mm-mm.
By the way, where'd you meet him?
I met him at the candy store. He turned around and smiled at me. You get the picture?
Yes, we see.
That's when I fell for
The leader of the pack.
my folks were always putting him down.
Down, down.
They said he came from the wrong side of town.
What you mean when you say that he came from the wrong side of town?
They told me he was bad, but I knew he was sad. That's why I fell for
The leader of the pack.
One day my dad said, find someone new. I had to tell my Jim you with
What you mean when you say that you better go find somebody new?
He stood there and asked me why, but all I could do was cry. I'm sorry I hurt you.
The leader of the pack.
He sort of smiled and kissed me goodbye. The tears were beginning to show. As he drove away on that rainy night, I begged him to go slow. Whether he heard, I'll never know.
Look out, look out, look out, look out! I felt so helpless, what could I do? Remembering all
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at Rockies.com.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio 89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
probably would regret, but if I had the proverbial 3 wishes, one of them would be to just go to a karaoke bar and be able to just nail that song.
Why?
Because I think that would be the coolest thing. Again, I would probably regret wasting that wish
Wasting
on
a wish
that.
on that, yeah.
But at the time, for those...
Steve Perry's voice is your wish.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always said. You want to know? You want to know what the 3 wishes are?
What?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wish number 1, and this would benefit you, okay? Perfect health for everyone in my circle.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good wish. 2, all right, how about beating this for a wish? I'd want the newspaper every day, 24 hours in advance.
Oh, well, that would help with the other stuff.
That would help a lot. I would know what games to bet on.
Mr. S says he wants Steve Perry's girlfriend. That'd be one of his wishes.
and wish 3 would be Steve Perry's singing voice.
Okay.
Now, if I had like 27 wishes, then I would want to be able to control like red lights and stuff like that, But that doesn't.
I know how to do that. I'll tell you off the air.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. I could use that. Is
There's
there
a
like a device?
Yes.
Ooh, I would be very interested.
I don't know how legal it is, but I know what it is.
No, so you don't have this technology.
I know how to procure it.
Now you like when I tease information from the second song?
Yes, and you know what? The second song, I watched a documentary on the genre that it is.
Okay.
And how so many different artists were tickled pink to be asked to do a song for this series of films.
Okay. Well, this is good. Then maybe you would know. You know the answer because the song is sitting right in front of your face.
Yes.
Would you have known the answer to this? I was very proud. Radio station did maybe about a week or 2 ago. They teased that, and I knew the answer. It is the only James Bond song that went to number 1. So you can.
I believe I knew that.
Okay, so you guys can think about that for the next 4 minutes.
And there's been some really, really good Bond songs.
There's been some fantastic songs, and I'm sure whatever you're guessing is a pretty good guess. But there's only one that went to number 1. At the time.
And how would you know?
Wait a minute. I wonder. Did Adele's Skyfall, did that go to number 1?
Well, give me a second.
So maybe like this is
You
old
talk
information.
for a second.
Okay. I'll talk about this song here. This song was written by George Merrill and Shannon Rubicam. Now, they started writing songs for other people. And because of that, they were able to come up with a band. They named it Boy Meets Girl, and they had that song Waiting for a Star to Fall, which I never really cared much for. Did you? Did you like that song?
Waiting for a Star to Fall? Actually, I like that song.
Okay. I never cared much for it. But the people who were in that band, they were writing for other things. And they were hired. They were hired to write a song for Janet Jackson. And so they did. They sat down.
Miss
they wrote,
Janet, if you're nasty?
Yes. They wrote this for Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson rejected it.
Really?
Whoops. So they were fired basically for
it
the
only
job.
made it to Skyfall only made it to number 8 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100.
So
but
then,
it made it to number 1 elsewhere.
Okay. So this is the only song in America that a James Bond song went to number 1. It will be the second song in the set. Now we're still talking about this song. So basically, they were fired from the job because Janet Jackson did not, she was polite about it. She's like, well, it's just not what I'm looking for. So they're fired. So they're like, well, great. This is a pretty cool song. What do we do with it? Fortunately, they were able to sell it to somebody else. And it became a big hit. Here's Whitney Houston and How Will I Know?
But you know what?
What?
I see it more as a Whitney Houston song than as a Janet Jackson
I'm sure
song.
I'm sure it was tweaked. I'm sure it was tweaked.
Janet Jackson wasn't super poppy, and Whitney was super poppy.
Right. I don't know what the song originally sounded like when it was written for Janet Jackson.
Right.
But, okay. So here's Whitney Houston and How Will I Know? 89.5 WSKB.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday, every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
I did it!
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Meeting you with a view to a kill, face to face in secret places, feel the chill. Nightfall covers me, but you know the plans I'm making still oversee. Could it be the whole lot opening wide? A sacred wine, a mystery gaping inside. The weekends why until we dance into the fire. That fatal kiss is all we need. Dance into the fire to fatal sounds of broken dreams. Dance into the fire. That fatal kiss is all we need. Dance into the fire. Choice for you is the view to a kill. Between the shades, assassination standing still. First crystal tears fall as snowflakes on your body. First time in years to drench your skin with lover's rosy stain. A chance to find the feelings for the flame. A chance to die. But can we dance into the fire? That fatal kiss is all we need. Dance into the fire to fatal sounds of broken dreams. Dance into the fire. That fatal kiss is all we need. Dance into the fire when all we see is the view to a kill.
Duran Duran. Now, to be fair, I said I knew the answer when the DJ said coming up. It is the only Bond song that went number one. It was during an 80s show. So that really cut the choices down a lot. Like, I might have guessed For Your Eyes Only, but knowing that it was an 80s show. Although For Your Eyes Only, I think also was in the 80s. So,
Yeah, it was.
yeah, it was.
Easton.
But so maybe I just remembered it going number one. Now, according to bassist John Taylor, who was a huge James Bond fan. In fact, one of the first things he bought once he became a successful musician was an Aston Martin, just like Bond. But he was at a party, and he saw Bond producer Albert Broccoli, and they were both kind of drunk, and he's like, I don't really think the songs in your last couple movies have been so great. And he volunteered to said, "Why don't?"
Oh, you know what? Since 2015, 2 Bond songs have gone number 1.
What else has gone number 1?
"Writings on the Wall" by Sam Smith, and "No Time to Die" by Billie Eilish in 2020.
I don't know either one of those songs. So okay,
Those are the newer, obviously the newer Bond films.
Gotcha. So I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a Bond film in a while, actually. It's been a little while. You know who I think is underrated? Everyone's got their favorite Bond, and of course it's Sean Connery. That Sean Connery's the number one.
Oh, that's in the UK, by the way.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't number 1 here. So it's still Duran Duran.
I believe you're correct.
Okay, half the time I am. So, but you know who I think is really an underrated Bond?
Who's that?
Pierce Brosnan. I think he's underrated in the role.
I think it was because he had done the other role previous to that. His kind of Bondish TV series.
Remington Steele.
Which
prevented him from taking the Bond job earlier because he was under contract to do Remington Steele. But yeah, I think Pierce Brosnan is very underrated. It's still Sean Connery, I think, is the best Bond. But you know who the guy wanted, the Ian Fleming, who he wanted Bond to portray. I mean, who
originally? Who?
David Niven. And that would have been great.
Been interesting.
And we did get...
Wasn't that more like the Saint, though, at that point?
Well, David Niven wasn't the Saint.
I know, but it'd be more reminiscent of the Saint.
Maybe. But David Niven did play James Bond in the original spoof version of Casino Royale. He played an aging James Bond. So he did kind of get to play the role, if you want to include him on that. He was James Bond in a film, and it technically was kind of a James Bond film until eventually the rights were bought. The rights were all... It's a crazy story. You should... The story alone on the rights to Casino Royale is crazy. When it was finally bought in full, they were able to make the movie the way I guess it was supposed to be. So Casino Royale technically is a remake in a way. But anyway.
Yeah.
So basically he at the party he said, why don't we come up with something, see if you like it? And they did, and it went to number 1. Flipping channels here, when I was doing some of the show prep the other day, the wife needed the laptop. So I'm like, all right. I said, all right, I'll kill 10 minutes or so. I turned on Turner Classic Movies, and my favorite foreign film was on. Does that make it sound pretentious?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a favorite foreign film?
Not really.
Okay. So that makes me pretentious that I have a favorite foreign film?
Yep.
Okay. It's Death of a Cyclist. It's from Spain. And it's subtitled and everything. But this is what I found odd. Turner Classics is great because they'll, at the beginning of the show, they'll tell you, Eddie Muller came on because technically it's a film noir film. And he'll tell you something about it. And I found this absolutely unnecessarily complicated. They hired an Italian actress for the lead role because, she was beautiful. But she couldn't speak Spanish. So all of her lines in that movie were dubbed by somebody else. That seems unnecessarily complicated to me. Like you couldn't find a beautiful woman in Spain or a beautiful woman anywhere in the world who could speak Spanish? Doesn't that seem unnecessarily complicated?
It depends.
So, I mean, she's on the set. How she's interacting with the other actors, she's not really positive what they're saying. It seems strangely complicated to me. I mean, she was absolutely beautiful actress who played in the movie Death of a Cyclist, but yeah, it struck me kind of odd. I don't even know why I started talking about it. I guess because we were talking movies. We were talking about movies, so I started talking about that.
Sure.
We have something that happened this day in history. In 1974, John Lennon made his last concert appearance. He was pretty much done with concerts, but he made a bet with Elton John, and he said, I bet you, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, you want to remake that song. It's not going to be a hit. And Elton John goes, I bet you it goes number 1. He goes, you're crazy. He goes, all right, if it goes number 1, you have to join me on stage and sing it. He's like, fine. You got to bet. Because he didn't think it would, and it did. So he lived up Madison Square Garden in 1974. This was the last time on this day that John Lennon appeared on a stage in a concert. And many, many years later, after his death, Elton John and Bernie Taupin really nailed this tribute, I think. It's just absolutely beautiful in honor of John Lennon. Here's Empty Garden, 89.5 WSKB.
What happened here as the New York sunset disappeared? I found an empty garden among the flagstones there. Who lived here? He must have been a gardener that cared a lot, who weeded out the tears and grew a good crop. Now it all looks strange. It's funny how one insect can damage so much grain. And what's it for, this little empty garden by the brownstone door, and in the cracks along the sidewalk, nothing grows no more. Who lived here? He must have been a gardener that cared a lot, who weeded out the tears and grew a good crop. And we are so amazed, we're crippled and we're dazed. A gardener like that one, no one can replace. And I've been knocking, but no one answers. And I've been knocking most of the day. Oh, and I've been calling. Oh, hey, Johnny, can't you come out to play? And through their tears, some say he found his best in younger years, but he'd have said that roots grow stronger if only he could hear. Who lived there? He must have been a gardener that cared a lot, who weeded out the tears and grew a good crop. Now we pray for rain, and with every drop that falls, we
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Dear heart, wish you were here to warm this night. My dear heart, seems like a year since you've been out of my sight. A single room, a table for one. It's a lonesome town, alright. But soon I'll kiss you hello at our front door. And dear heart, I want you to know I'll leave your arms nevermore. A single room, a table for one. It's a lonesome town, alright. But soon I'll kiss you hello at our front door. And dear heart, I want you to know I'll leave your arms
There's a smooth voice for you, huh? Andy Williams. Now, Warner Brothers, that's from the movie Dear Heart. And Warner Brothers, they were sitting on the film, and Andy really wanted it to be released so it would qualify for the 1965 Academy Awards. And so finally the film company said, all right, this is what we'll do. We're planning on releasing the movie next year, but we'll release it for 1 week in the county of Los Angeles, which basically what you have to qualify for the Academy Awards. If you, Mr. Andy Williams, will agree to pay for the local advertising for the film. And it came to $10,000, and Andy Williams said, yeah, all right, I'll do it. Here's $10,000, advertise the film. I want this thing to be qualified for this year's Academy Awards. So,
nice.
Yeah, kind of interesting. Now, I wanted to play an Andy Williams song because I'm kind of annoyed, and people say, you know, hey, don't be annoyed by this, but at work, we've already started playing the Christmas music.
You're lucky it's that late.
Listen, I know I'm in retail, but this is what really bothers me, okay? I've accepted the fact I have to listen to Christmas music every single day when I'm at work. But this year, okay, we have no Dean Martin, we have no Nat King Cole, we have no Elvis, we have no Jackson 5, and we have no Andy Williams. How can you have a Christmas list? All right, you know, I think you want all of them in there, but how do you not have Nat King Cole or Dean Martin?
Woke.
If you were it's got nothing to do with.
Yeah,
look, no,
sure.
no.
They're trying to kill the
Let-
tradition of
no,
Christmas.
Well, no, all right, but I know that we're not going to get.
Tradition-
I know we're not going to get Dean Martin's "Baby It's Cold Outside," but Dean Martin had a whole album of
I know they're trying to kill the traditions and institutions of Christmas.
But no, I mean we've got Christmas songs, but
doesn't make a difference.
if you were hired to do a Christmas party, okay, isn't Nat King Cole and Dean Martin? Aren't you sticking a Dean Martin or Nat King Cole?
But that's what I'm
Christmas song in
saying. They're getting rid of the standards. They're getting rid of
there?
anything
No, I mean
of
we do,
institutions.
we do play plenty of old Christmas songs there, but it's just no Jackson 5 for
Maybe
crying
they
out
can't
loud.
get the rights to it anymore.
It just seems kind of odd to me. It really. And
Again,
then
maybe it's all down to money. Maybe they can't get
and then
the rights
we
to play
played
it.
weird. We played weird versions of songs. Like you can love or hate "Last Christmas" by Wham, but if you're gonna play "Last Christmas," you should play the Wham version.
But again, it's like the airport at Bradley. They won't pay the rights for the original artist, so they have other artists
Yeah,
cover
I don't
it.
know if that's. I don't know if
That's
that's
exactly what it is.
No,
It's about money.
No, because we play plenty of.
But those are probably cheaper rights.
No, but I'm saying we play plenty of songs that I'm sure are quite expensive to play at work. It's not like a episode of Knight Rider in the '80s where they wouldn't pony up for the Stevie Nicks song, so they have somebody else sing it. But I mean, it's a fine theory, but I don't think it's right because we play plenty of hit songs at work. It's kind of odd to me that you would not have a Dean Martin, a Nat King Cole, Elvis Jackson 5, or Andy Williams Christmas song on your Christmas playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Although I was concerned, there was one that I really, really liked. It was a newer song, and we've played it on the show. And I was thinking, well, where the hell is that song? And I heard it today. One More Sleep by
Maybe they're
Leona
waiting.
Lewis. So I was like, all right, cool. There it
Maybe
is.
they're waiting.
Yeah, maybe they're waiting. Now, Chicago 16 was considered a bit of a comeback for the band Chicago because they were kind of struggling. And so they brought in a new record producer, David Foster, who kind of got rid of the horns. And Dan Serafini, who we met in Vegas, which were pretty cool, the drummer, said, listen, basically, look, Foster came in and did a great job. He kept the integrity of the band, but he said, listen, record stations are telling me and everybody that anybody with horns in their band, they're just not going to play anymore. And it's a sad part of the time. And it's a shame because Chicago did lose some of that sound. And this is how they sort of morphed into this. But it did kind of save the band. God knows what would have happened had they stayed with the horns.
Adapt and overcome.
Yeah. Although if you see Chicago now, they got their horns with them in concert, which is kind of nice. I feel bad for playing this because usually my sister, Kimberly, was a big fan. We'll listen every single week, but she's not listening today. She's got to work. But I'm playing a Chicago song anyway because I was thinking of this song the other day. Here's from Chicago 16, Love Me Tomorrow, 89.5 WSKB.
She said it's lonely here tonight. She's always sad when she's alone.
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Okay, so no one's answering. Well, can't you just let it ring a little longer, longer, longer? Oh, I'll just sit tight through shadows of the night. Let it ring forevermore.
Blue days, black nights, do I do like
The ultimate movie credit song that was never used in a movie credit. Didn't it seem like it'd be perfect for a movie?
Yeah, it would be. It
Yeah.
might be my favorite ELO song, actually.
It is a very good song.
It's a very good song. And Jeff Lynne was realizing that in America they were becoming quite popular. So when they wanted to use a telephone sound, they said, we've got to get the American, apparently phones sound differently.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
In England. And
Well, look at Pink Floyd uses the English sound, English telephone sound.
Yep. So they found a number in America where they knew that nobody would pick up on. I don't know exactly how they did the research on that. So they just played it because they wanted to hear it for like an hour to match the synthesizer to that same chord.
Sound, yeah.
And you know, basically that's a something. Why they didn't just record the phone ringing? I don't know.
Maybe there's a copyright on it.
Possibly. So basically, that's how they got the sound for that song. 1974 was a pretty good year for Neil Sedaka. It was surprisingly because basically he had not had a hit in like 10 years. And he left America and he went to hang out in England and he started writing some songs. And his buddy Elton John was starting a record label and said, hey, you know, when you get enough songs for a record, let me know. So he did, and the first song from that album was Laughter in the Rain. Also on that album was a song that he decided he wasn't going to release, and he was going to let some friends of his release. And it went to number 1 for 4 weeks. And then after that, he had the song Bad Blood, which I've played on the song before. That became a big hit.
Sure.
So 1974 was a pretty good year for Neil Sedaka. So that song that he gave up that went to number 1 for 4 weeks was recorded by Captain Tennille. Here's Love Will Keep Us Together, 89.5 WSKB.
Love will keep us together. Think of me, babe, whenever some sweet talking girl comes along, singing a song. Don't mess around, you just gotta be strong. Just stop, 'cause I really love you.
Underwriting for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield, serving the youth of the Whip City and surrounding communities since 1969. For more information on the Great Futures Club for ages 3 to 5, happening weekdays, and the Club Teen Center for ages 11 and older, weekdays from 6:30 till 8 p.m., go online at bcgwestfield.org or visit the club at 28 West Silver Street. The Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield. Great futures start here.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for Arts Beat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Bay State Rock and Roll, Billy Squier. Now, basically, a lot of people thought that was basically a road song. And Billy Squier says, I purposely do not write on the road because I don't want to write a road song about being, groupies and parties and stuff. He goes, I actually wrote that at home. And basically, you can be, lonely in a room anywhere. And basically, it's just about how do you deal with loneliness. So
Okay.
It was not a road song. Now, you told me a message or something. I
Yeah,
didn't quite
I
understand
got a
what you're
question for you.
Right.
Do you think that Billy Squier suffered because people thought he was very, very Led Zeppelin-ish?
No, I think we talked about this before.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I understand the video part of it.
The video of
But I mean, just the sound. Very
Rock Me Tonight.
But just the sound of it. Very Led Zeppelin.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
No, he was doing very well.
God, I don't hear. I hear Led Zeppelin all over his music.
Yeah, but it was great stuff. I think the Rock Me Tonight video is what really did him in. And we've talked about that before, and it's a shame because he had some absolutely great stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for the Drifters because I think the Drifters are going to get cut from the show, aren't they?
I don't
know. Here's something else that people don't realize what a risk it was. But in 1974, the Doobie Brothers, touring was beginning to take a toll on them, especially Tom Johnson. And then things got worse when he was diagnosed with stomach ulcers. And basically he said, guys, I have to step away. And the band considered just calling it quits. But Skunk Baxter said, you know what? I was in Steely Dan with this guy, Michael McDonald, and he's not doing anything right now. He's living in basically a garage apartment. Why don't we ask him to come in? And they said, well, all right. So he came in, and he brought some of his own songs. And when you think about it, it was a drastic style change that we just take for granted now, looking back. But 1974, it was a big change for the band.
Yeah.
Definitely worked, though. It worked out pretty well. Here's the very first album that Michael McDonald did with them. Here's It Keeps You Running, 89.5 WSKB.
Say
89.5 WSKB.
I knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you in worn out shoes, silver hair and ragged shirt and baggy pants, the old soft shoe. He jumped so high, he jumped so high, and then he lightly touched down. I met him in Salem, New Orleans, I was down and out. He looked to me to be the eyes of age as the smoke ran out. He talked of life, he talked of life. He laughed, clicked his heels and stared. He said his name Bojangles and he danced a lick across the cell. He grabbed his pants and feathered stance for he jumped so high. And then he clicked his heels. He let go a laugh, he let go a laugh. Shook back his clothes all around. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, dance. He danced for those at minstrel shows and county fairs throughout the South. Spoke through tears of 15 years how his dog and him traveled about. The dog up and died, he up and died. After 20 years he still grieves. Said I dance now at every chance in honky-tonk for drinks and tips, but most of the time I spend behind these county bars, 'cause I drink so bit. He shook his head, and as he shook his head, I heard someone ask him, please, please, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, dance.
The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Now, Jeff Walker, he did the original version of it, and it's a true story. He was arrested for public intoxication, and he met a guy in the jail cell who called himself Mr. Bojangles, and basically he was telling everybody stories in the cell, and then when he told the story about how his dog died, it really killed the mood. And they're like, oh, man, do something to make us happy. And the guy stood up and he did like a little tap dance to make everybody happy. And pay attention. It's all inspiration is all around. It's a true story. All right, this kind of depressing. We got to get out of here real quick. We're going to sneak this song in here by the Drifters. This session was scheduled to be recorded, and the day of the recording, the lead singer was found dead.
Ooh.
Holy crap. So the next day, they did it with a new singer. Jeez. Wow.
The show must go on.
Here's the Drifters and Under the Boardwalk, 89.5 WSKB.
Oh, when the sun goes down and burns the tar up on the roof, and your shoes get so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah, on a blanket with my baby's where I'll be. Under the boardwalk, out of the sun, the boardwalk. We'll be falling in love under the boardwalk. Boardwalk.
Johnny Moore filling in for the deceased Rudy Lewis on the Drifters. That's the show. Hopefully you learned something. Did you learn something today?
I usually do, yeah.
Okay, cool. I am Michael Buster McMahon. Drink your milk, look both ways before crossing the street, and never, ever say goodbye or give up your dreams or whatever.
You got it completely.
Yeah, I do. Say
Goodbye, Peter.
Say goodbye, Peter. That's what I was trying to put in there.
Yes,
we
goodbye,
always like
Peter.
to end with something kind of fun, and this is about as rapish as we'll ever get on the show. On the show, Phineas and Ferb, Candace used to have to babysit her boyfriend's little sister, who was always causing trouble, and she put acorns in her pants, which caused squirrels to go in her pants. And as they're in the park, she's trying to get them out. The local street musicians thought she was dancing, and they did like a little rap to it. I don't know how far the clip goes, but at the end, they finally realized that the girl actually had squirrels in her pants. We will see you next week. Mwah.
Tell me what's making you jump like that. S-I-M-P, squirrels in my pants. Ain't got no chickens, ain't got no rats. S-I-M-P, squirrels in my pants. S to the I to the M to the P, then maybe you can be moving like me. Step right over and watch me put it down. S to the I to the M to the P. Step right over and watch me put it. S to the I to the M to the P. You got backbone water in your pants. S-I-M-P, squirrels in my pants. How can I qualify for government grants? S-I-M-P, squirrels in my pants. Hypnotize me, put me in a trance. S-I-M-P, squirrels in my pants. Gallon in Florence, living in France. She can't see the squirrels in my pants. Step right over and watch me put it down. S to the I to the M to the P. Step right over and watch me put it. S to the I to the M to the P. If you wanna know how I'm doing this dance. S-I-M-P, squirrels in my pants. Something in my trousers, you know it ain't dance. S-I-M-P, squirrels in my pants. Proletarian bourgeoisie. Baby, you don't need an academic degree. Everybody smelling my potpourri. S to the I to the M to the P. Step right over and watch me put it down. S to the I to the M to the P. Step right over and watch me put it down.